Hello, everyone. My name is Doodlin, and I'm back with another doodling with Doodlin. I was just kind of thinking that, you know, this is or is how am I trying to frame this here? Uh, this is probably this is the last episode of Doodling with Doodlin, right? Um, it's really fun to do and whatnot, but I kind of want to do another one more series before I end this whole channel, because in the last video I made, the Oregon Trail video, Seko had commented saying that, it'd be cool if there was some BMG content, and I was like, last episode, or in the Oregon Trail episode, I had basically just talked about how, I didn't want another complicated series to do, right? Because, doodling with Doodoonuts requires like setting up this whole camera setup, and the Minecraft series, I have to prep and progress the world off camera before I can like shoot, the next video or whatever. And that's why I chose Oregon Trail over BeamNG. But I realized if I, ended this series, then there would be a void or a hole left for a little somewhat complicated series where I use, my camera. Or, well, this is just my phone. I'm just using my phone. But so yeah, this will be the last kind of episode for Doodling Through the Nuts, which I kind of wish it wasn't, because I really like drawing. I really like, just talking and doodling. It's really difficult to do, but I just like drawing. I like showing off, my ideas and what goes on in my mind. Cause truly, when I'm talking, I'm kind of just doodling what is just coming to my mind, like what's at the top of my dome. But I don't know. This is an interesting thing. This is an interesting practice, really good for strengthening commentary, which hopefully I'm getting better at. Because it is, like I said, this channel is gonna end. Like there's gonna be a final episode, or a final video or whatever, and that's it. I will never post anything else on this channel again, because I want to make another one. I want to make another channel, but one that's like proper, one where like I really try to market myself, and I do like actually interesting thumbnails and actually interesting titles, because obviously like all the titles that I have right now are just literally the thing and then a number, like Minecraft 1, Minecraft 2, Midnight Club 1, Midnight Club, like it's just literally that. And I kind of want to get into, making titles that are more interesting. And that's what I will be doing in, whatever XYZ channel I do end up doing, which I'm kind of, so I'm waiting on this channel to finish before I start with that. The thing is that I've really slowed down on the production of videos. And that's mainly because recently at work, at where I work, I have like a partner in crime, right? Where, a coworker that helps me specifically in my area, right? Like me and him are in this area and we're working together, and obviously having a pair of second hands, maybe not in every job instance, but in most, having a second pair of hands is just flat out useful, regardless of what they are, or if they're, like a lazier person. Like, it doesn't matter if there's just someone like at least doing something constantly, like, or just doing something when you're not like there, like maybe when you're in the bathroom, or just, it's just, just a second pair of hands is just awesome. Right? And I only say this because my coworker that was fired. I was kind of left alone in my little area, and I'm the only person that's like there. And so it's basically led to my workload not being increased. Obviously, that'd be insane if they fired someone and then increased the workload to that'd be horrible. I'm sure that happens though. I mean, it's a real fucked up and corrupt world, especially now. But I won't get into that. But it's just, you know, what was I talking about? Yeah, increased workload. And so that's kind of resulted in me being a bit more I really lack energy and effort and motivation when I get home now, right? Because I'm just working that much harder. Because this coworker in specific, let's call him Larry. Larry in specific was the type of coworker that he wasn't bad, you know, he didn't have necessarily a bad like efficiency. Like he was good. And when he was working, he would, you know, work well. But he had this kind of like this little tendency, this little knack, you know, to kind of do something like for like a good 30 to 45 minutes, like a good chunk of what we're working on, like to do it. And then like, you know, when you're working, right, there's like natural like break points, like you're working on something really constantly and then you finally finish like this small little segment and now you're kind of like sitting back, like deciding what to do next. That's like a little break point, right? Like that's you kind of just chilling in a little zone, right? He likes to take those break points and essentially turn them from like maybe a 5-minute breather where you maybe check your phone or you know, maybe you catch up on like text or something, you know, stuff like that. Instead of it being that, he makes it like a 30 to 45 minute conversation. Like straight up, like he loved talking. And that's fun. That's fun when it's like, you know, 30 minutes till, you know, the shift is over and we have no work to do, or like, you know, it's fun in instances where it's like maybe really slow. But like he would do it like regardless. Like it didn't matter. Now if it's like direly like, you know, how should I say? Like if the thing we were working on was like dire, as in like it needed to be finished or whatever, he would pick up the pace and he would lock in, right? He wasn't that like he's a smart dude. But it's just that he really loved, like, you know, like sitting back and just kind of taking his time with stuff. And so the reason why I bring that up is because I never realized that he was indirectly, like, really, like, taking the like, kind of the strain of, like, work off of me. Like, as in, because I wasn't working so constantly, right, because I had a second pair of hands, but on top of that, this second pair of hands would take 30-45 minutes away from what the work we were doing. Like it essentially just resulted in me taking really long breaks and doing like very light work. Maybe not light work, but but you know, like a lighter work that I'm doing now. Yeah, it resulted in me and essentially just me not having to put much effort, right, and taking like really unneeded long breaks. And I had never realized that, yeah, like those little talking like conversations were breaks, like breaks for my body, breaks for my brain. And I don't know, it's just now it's not only do I not have those conversational breaks, you know, in the work day, I'm also just working constantly because I'm the only person there. So it's like kind of like a double, like, you know, a double stack of just like making the workload just feel that much heavier. And so it's resulted me in really slowing down with the uploads or with recording videos. This is the 8th day. I'm recording this on the 8th day, which is horrible because I used to say that I would always upload every 6 days, right? Like the maximum would be 6 days. I almost turned the sketchbook around, but I won't do that. I'll just kind of but it's yeah, that's kind of why I've slowed down. I don't know when this video will come out. Hopefully maybe I record it tonight, but I don't know that I will do that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty sleepy, like I said, you know. It's yeah. You get home from work, you don't have any motivation. It's very hard to work on, personal projects and stuff. Because this is what I view this as. It's kind of like a little personal project, which I don't know. Who knows if my future channel that I actually do attempt to grow, who knows where that will go. Hopefully somewhere. But I do need idea, because if I do make a new channel, it will be consisting of video games, obviously, but more stuff, right? Like stuff like this too. I really like this. The main focus for what I want to do in terms of content is commentary. Is me. It's me speaking, me, maybe making jokes, maybe just talking about whatever, just stuff like that. That's kind of what I want to sell. And so whatever the vessel that I may use to carry my voice, maybe whether it's like a game, whether it's me drawing, whether it's me, I don't know, fucking woodworking. I don't do that. But what if I learned and I just start doing it and talking about it? I'm carving like a little bear, maybe out of like a little log or like a little branch. That'd be cool. That'd actually be really... Oh. See, I'm kind of like the type of person that loves learning. I think I've talked about this before, but I also love learning skills. Like, I think it's really fun to just, like, when something breaks or when you need to resolve something in your home, like something like, tangible, something materialistic. I think it's always fun to just search it up how to do it yourself. And a lot of people are like this, like, especially nowadays. It's really easy to just search up how to do it yourself and to just fix it yourself. And, always, attempt to learn as much as you can before you attempt, something. And if it's stupid, if you have to consider, like, maybe not doing it, call a professional, right? But it's still fun to learn new skills and techniques, because a lot of the services that people pay for are just truly not needed, or at least there are skills and things that like most everyday people could do. Not everyone, obviously. There's people that need that type of help, but I just realized how vaguely I've been speaking. Like I'm speaking vaguely because it's just I don't know what's company. Like I'm talking about services, any type of service, like like maybe electricity, like something fucked up, like one of your light switches fucked up, or maybe plumbing, or one of your like electronic devices. I heard there's a phone recently released where like the company itself is like selling essentially repair kits for it, which is crazy, right? Because like you always hear these stories about like Apple, like almost restricting the sorry, I almost burped. Almost restricting the repairability of, their phones, which, pros and cons to that, right? It makes it more tight and sealed and more durable like that, but it also means you can't repair it. But then repairability obviously means you can repair it, but obviously, it can't be constructed as well, or at least, I don't know. Maybe you could make it super easily repairable and super durable. But who knows? I don't really know. But it's what was I even talking? Why am I talking about phones? Oh yeah, learning skills. Yeah, they're fun. It's cool. And also it's stupid skills. Like I remember like ages ago, like when I was like in middle school maybe, I think like 8th grade. I don't fucking remember. But this is a super shit skull. I can't really do when it's sideways. But in middle school, I was introduced to JoJo's, the anime, by one of my friends. And I remember like I became so stupidly enamored with the clacker balls that Joseph, the second Joestar, the little clacker balls he used, like these little metal, like it's like a string. It's like I can draw them. Actually, I'm like low-key drawing them here right now, but no, that's something else. It's like the ones I owned. I'll draw the ones I owned, which was like a little ring, right? Kind of like a little metal ring, like the one like for a key, And then like a little rope that's kind of like tied. And then the ring is not this big. I just kind of fucked up the proportionality here. And strings, and then just 2 little balls. And obviously the ones I had were like made of like some sort of plastic, but the ones in the show were like made of metal. Yeah, this ring is supposed to be like this fucking big. It's like this big. But yeah, it's basically it's basically just that, right? And I remember being like, I want these, and I literally somehow, I don't know from where, but I ordered them like online, and I remember just learning how to use them because it's like a skill almost. Like I remember getting them and just not knowing how to like do it. Like the show, obviously in the show, you know, the character has superpowers, so I can't necessarily do it exactly like how he does it, but you know, the simple action of what these little things do is just they just hit against each other like this, but like in a circular motion. So like if this were the ring and this is like the strings, right? They like, the balls would like go like and they'd like meet in the middle, right? So like clack. And then obviously once bouncing off of here, they go back and they go this way and then do the same shit here down here. But you get the gist. And I remember just learning how to do them, and I still can do it. And it's not like a hard skill to learn, right? Most people could probably learn this like in like 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe some people could just learn just by looking, which I kind of, you know, that's kind of all it takes for at least this. But I just remember like that's kind of the first time I was like, oh, I can just do shit and like learn how to do it. And then I remember I did it with yo-yos, which I didn't get too into yo-yoing, but like I can do like the basic, like, you know, like I can do the, what is it, the basic thing with the yo-yo where it goes down and then you pull it back up, like it goes to sleep mode or whatever you call it, or rest, and then you can pull it up. And then I learned how to do that because it's like crazy how many people just can't do that. Like I remember I would bring my yo-yos at school, and just to show off essentially that I could do it, because yeah, kids, at least of my generation, Gen Z, like they just can't they just can't yo-yo. And it's stupid easy to impress this generation, at least from my experience. But yeah, that's just kind of like ever since those like 2 little things, the clacker balls and the yo-yos, I've always been like, wow, it's really easy to like pick stuff up and then just learn it. Like it's really cool. And obviously, like, you know, I only dip my toes in this stuff, right? Like another thing that I only dipped my toes in was like skateboarding. I learned how to cruise, like just to maneuver around. And for the longest time, I actually used my skateboard as like just straight up my means of transport. Cause like I was like, you know, when I was a teenager, obviously I didn't fucking have a car, but I had places to be. So I was like, you know what? Let me just like straight up just use a little skateboard, and I did, and it's really fun. Like it just simply cruising around is like super fun, and it's really efficient too. Like obviously it's way faster than walking, and like I live in a kind of like, how do I say? Like it's not suburbs, but it's like you have like houses, right? Like if I could draw a small map, like you have like housing and stuff, right? And maybe it's like a little like this is so cooked. Okay, yeah, you have like housing and stuff, right? And you know, and then you go and stuff, and then maybe there's like shops, and then it's like trees, maybe. How, like, what is this? And like the shops are like actual shopping centers, and like there's kind of like sometimes big buildings, but not all the time. I don't know. I don't know if it's suburbs, because like when I hear suburbs, I just think of like white folk, you know, like rich people, you know, richer people. And I don't live in that. At least I could go to places that are like richer, but I don't actually like where I'm like trying to dox myself, I guess, but where I specifically live, like it's not that. Um, but it's just I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about. um. Oh yeah, no, but yeah, I was talking about skateboarding, and yeah, so where I live is like shit is like within 30 minutes walking distance of each other. So skateboarding just made everything like really cool and easy, and it made my town feel so much smaller, which was cool. Like it made it feel like I could explore around more easily, I guess. Also, this drawing is actual nonsense. I'm so sorry. I promise you I can draw or more coherently than this. Maybe not better, but more coherently. It's just, it's hard to commentate while drawing, you know? Like, I take huge pauses within these videos to, like, actually continue the drawings usually, which kind of sucks because the whole point of this, you know, thing is that I'm sketching. So, hold on. Let me reposition myself. All right, sorry about that. But I don't know. It's just learning stuff is pretty fast. I'm still on this. I'm still on about learning. I'm still preaching learning because it's fun. It's real fun. That's kind of what I did with the drums, but the drums is a different story. So like, the drums are just like a genuine passion of mine. At least in terms of, I just really like playing them. And the drums is not something I've just simply dipped my toes in, like with the skateboarding or the yo-yoing. Like, this is something that I want to hone and craft for like the rest of my life. Like, I'm fine with just namelessly playing drums for the rest of my life, just for fun, just for myself, for my friends. But the reason why I even own a drum set in the beginning, because I've always been really enamored. I use that word again. I should use another one. I've always been really interested in percussive stuff, right? I've always tapped on tables and stuff. Like, you know, I've always like kind of beatboxed with my mouth. And I remember, I think I've told this story before, but I remember as a kid, I was in church. And the drums that we use at church were unoccupied. And so there's like kids around it. And I remember like they were like just, you know, doing shit. And like they were trying to roll on the snare. And I was like, for some reason, I didn't even know what it was. But the way one of the guys like explained it to me, like how to do like the like, you know, how to roll, how to hold the stick and how to like, you know, position your hand and whatever. The way the guy explained it to me like perfectly clicked in my head, and I just did it, like just straight up. What is it? I just like went for it, and then it just worked. Like I literally could do it, and it was really cool. It was a really cool moment, not because it like maybe sparked an interest for drumming, but like I've always had that, you know, innate nature for percussion. But I think more so it just kind of was like, whoa, like that was special. Like that was like, oh, that sounds egotistical, not special. But it just felt like, oh my god, like someone told me and gave me instructions, and then I went through with them and I did it. Like I completed, I fulfilled what the instructions were for, and it made me feel crazy. Like it was like, whoa. Like if you just like go for it, you know, it really works out in the end sometimes. And that's exactly for skateboarding as well, because that's kind of the hump that most people always, you know, never like get over, which is just being scared of riding the skateboard. I had two friends that were attempting to ride the skateboard, right? And one, it took him like quite some time to learn cruising, and the other one got it within like the first or second try. And the reason why the second one got it so quickly is because his philosophy behind it was just that he was gonna go for it. Like he wasn't scared at all of like falling off the skateboard. He just went on it and essentially willed himself into like being able to cruise around. And I just remember being like, wow, yeah, like that's basically it. Like he really just kind of skipped the whole part where, you know, that's a huge floor tom. Damn, that must be one thunderous ass noise. But yeah, he just kind of went for it, and so my first friend, the person that took him a while, he was very scaredy. He was very precautious. He would always bail like very quickly, and so that kind of just it kind of showed me, that's kind of the thing too. When I say that that you can learn like from literally anything, I mean that, right? Like I literally learned from watching my friends do stuff, and it's like they weren't teaching me anything, they weren't like inherently teaching me anything. It's not, and I already knew how to ride the skateboard, so they weren't teaching me anything about skateboarding either. It's just that like just by observing them, it kind of like taught me somewhat of a lesson of like, yeah, sometimes just going for it and just kind of willing yourself into doing whatever you're doing, it kind of works out a lot, and I don't want to say like definitely will work out, but like I don't know, it's just something about it. You can sometimes will the universe to make you succeed, I guess. I don't know, but it's just something interesting that I observed. I don't know. I weirdly talk a lot about learning. This, and I've said this before. I'm literally just like that in real life too. I mean, I'm not always spouting out some stupid bullshit, but like every now and then I will just like turn to my friends and be like, hey guys, like remember, always cherish like XYZ stuff. Always remember to upkeep XYZ principle or whatever. Yeah, I don't. I went rock climbing today, which is kind of another reason why I'm so exhausted, and it's just kind of so difficult. Rock climbing must be one of the fucking hardest hobbies ever. Like the most difficult like thing to just, because it's you're using everything, first of all, right? Like literally everything that's on your body, you are using it to just even do the hobby. To just like physically move your body from the ground 10 feet up, 15 feet up is crazy. Because we were doing what is called bouldering, which is where you're just unharnessed. There's kind of walls set up for you that don't really go too high. I don't really know the exact specifications, but I can't imagine it's more than like 20 feet. But yeah, you essentially just have free reign over whatever wall is empty. And it's so like, even just bouldering is so hard, because there's like harness ones that go like all the way to the roof of the building that we were in, and like that shit looked crazy. Like I could not imagine ever doing that. But it's just such a crazy hobby. And then like you see like little ass kids just like fucking spring up from like the start of a little course like all the way to the end. And it's like a fucking like V like 5 or 6, and like the scaling of the difficulty of the courses go from V intro to V0 all the way to like V10 or V12, I think. And for me, I couldn't do anything past V3. And most V3s were like completely off limit. Like I could not do them for me, I just couldn't do them at all, because they're just so difficult. Like it's really a strenuous like hobby or sport. It's a sport, like honestly, because it has to be a sport, or like there has to be like tournaments, surely, because you could literally just compete on the same course. It's really controlled. That's asking to be a sport. It's most definitely, there's definitely tournaments probably, but yeah, I don't know. It's just it really like it blew my mind, because I have a friend who is really good, or not really good at rock climbing, but he's really into it, and like he was doing like V6s and stuff like that, like pretty not easily, but like damn, he made it look real efficient. He was making it look real easy, and it's not. It's really not. I'm kind of like a heavier dude. So maybe that's kind of it kind of sucked there, but I don't know. It's just, I'm not a heavier dude, but like I'm not light. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not skinny, right? I ain't skinny, but I'm not like fat, you know. But like, I don't know. I'm kind of like in the middle. I'm chubby, maybe, but I don't. You wouldn't. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, rock climbing is crazy. If you ever try it, like strap in, unless you are a rock climber. If there's any rock climbers in the audience, that'd be kind of cool. Because they're really, like, obviously these people are like crazy fit, right? You kind of have, like, the perfect rock climber's body is to just be insanely like skinny but jacked at the same time. So it's pretty crazy. But enough about rock climbing, enough about anything, because it's the end of the video. We have reached the 30-minute mark, which is what these videos are meant to be about. About 20, or not 20, about 30. Let me just write down. I kind of wrote my name on all of them. I didn't mean to do it on purpose, but it's just kind of what happened. Either way, though, yeah, that's the end of the video. I'm really glad if you've watched all of it. I don't think many people do, though, because my videos get pretty long. But yeah, this is the ending of this series. It was a really good one. The drawing quality wasn't too nice. I'm not gonna lie. I promise I can be more coherent. I can draw things that like the normal person could look at and be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Maybe one day you'll see it. Who knows? But yeah, it was a fun series. It really tested my ability to commentate while doing something. This video has been not the best. I did pause my drawing a lot there. At least I noticed a lot. But regardless, I'm sure this will, you know, all but help, or not all but. It'll only help. I won't be fucking fancy. It'll only help. You know, I can only imagine it'll only help my commentary ability. But yeah, I'm happy I got to, you know, have. I got 3 cool pages out of it too. You know, like these. I'll look back on these pages and be like, wow, like I remember this. This is a cool time. But yeah, that'll be all. Oh wait, no, that's not how my outro. How does my outro go? Oh yeah, right. Okay. So this is, yeah. So drawings, whatever. Final episode. You know, it sucks, but it's still, you know, beautiful. Everything, all beautiful things have an end. You know, whatever. But with that being said, that'll be all. See ya.